Hello everybody, so welcome to another Friday Reads. I have been reading quite a bit and I'm in the middle of a few books, so let's talk about that. But before I do that, I just wanted to say that I am quite happy that the Netherlands finally went into a partial lockdown this week. I'm not happy, but considering the rising cases, that it's going crazy. I was not doing anything, so I'm happy that we finally got into a lockdown and at least they're doing something about it. On the downside, that means that my husband is home now, so I'm filming from our bedroom because he's in the living room now. I hope the light is not too distracting, but we will see. The first book I finished this week was The Book of Not by Tsitsi Dangarembga, and this is the second book of the Nervous Condition trilogy. I read the first one maybe a month ago. I read this one now because Kieran from Katie Book was so nice and he sent it to me. And I'm looking forward to read the third one. So this one follows Tammu, who was the girl in the first book, when she's a bit older and finally goes to school. And we see her again and again and again fighting to achieve academic excellence, academic success, and time again she's not able to. And we see why, and it's heartbreaking and it's beautiful, and I loved it. I loved it more than Nervous Conditions, and I don't know why it's so obscure, because Nervous Condition is a fairly well-known one, and then this one came out and apparently nobody was interested in it and it's out of print, but I think it's better, so I don't know why that is the case, but yeah, I would really recommend the trilogy so far, and especially this one. The second one that I finished is Love and Other Thought Experiments by Sophie Ward, and this one is also was in the long list of the Booker this year, and it's about philosophy. It tries to give examples of different philosophical concepts within this story of Rachel and Elisa, who are a couple that are trying to decide if they want a child, and then once a child is born, it follows also his life. And this book tries to introduce philosophical concepts within that life. I was not a fan of this book. I think that it was very forced in all the philosophy that was trying to introduce, and I think that the sci-fi aspects that it goes to in the second half of the book were not well done. But if you want to know more about my thoughts of this, I have a full review that I will link below for this book. Then the third one I read is 1984 by George Orwell. This is a reread for me. It was supposed to be the book that I reread last month from my reread project, and I loved it as I was expecting. So this one follows Wilson, who is a person that works rewriting history in this totalitarian society, and it follows him trying to question this totalitarian society, and it's written in the rise of the communist regimes in Russia and Germany and so on, and it tries to show how this totalitarianism works and how it comes to be. And I think it's brilliant. This book, I have to say that I didn't love the romantic aspects of this. There is a romantic relationship that I think is just for plot's sake more than for the relationship itself, and I think they could have done that without the romance. But other than that, I think it's brilliant. The world is so well constructed, and I think it's so relevant still today, and how easy it is to make them believe in things and follow the masses just so that they can live a quiet life without having to fight for every single thing. So yeah, I think this is very relevant, and I think everyone should read it. So yeah. The next one I read was for the International Dublin Literary Award, and that was Disoriental by Negar Djavdi. But this one I also absolutely loved. So this one follows this family that lived in Iran, and they moved from Iran to France because of the political turmoil that happened during the revolution and the political activism of the father of the family. And it talks about so many different topics. It talks about the fact that to be able to assimilate in the French culture, they have to lose part of their identity. So to sort of make space for those new cultures and customs. It also talks about motherhood and what that means. It means the culture and the politics and the history of Iran. It talks about how alien you can feel in a different country, but at the same time, how free that makes you feel, and how homesick all at the same time, and how confusing it is. Shows how relationships change when you change country, because everyone becomes a different person. So yeah, all those explorations, I thought they were brilliant, and the commentary on the Europeans, the different Europeans, and how they are and how they live, I thought they were very poignant as well. The protagonist spent her teenage years in France, in Paris, where her parents decide to go, but then she moves to Belgium and then the Netherlands, and she has some commentary about Dutch people that I thought it was hilarious, and I really loved. So it's something that I would really recommend, and I was very happy that the Dublin Literary Prize made me read this. And then the last one that I finished was my audiobook, and that was City of Brass by S A Chakraborty. And this one basically is a fantasy that follows a girl that was living in the human world, and she thought she was a human, but then it turns out she's a jinn. So she goes to the jinn city, and there's these different tribes that are not exactly at war with each other, but they don't like each other, and they always have these troubles with each other. And she becomes part of a political plot that she didn't want to be part of. And we follow her and her adventures, and it is a lot of fun. I have already started the second book in audio, and that is Kingdom of Copper, so I'm reading that as an audiobook right now. And then the other things I'm reading, so the first one I think I already talked about last week, and that's The Little Friend by Donna Tartt. I am about 350 pages in, so I have 2 chapters to go, but each chapter is like 100 pages, so that doesn't say much. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. I'm loving the character of Harriet, who is the main protagonist. She's a girl about 10 years old, and she's trying to find out more things about the death of her brother Robin, who died when she was a baby. He was found hanging from a tree in the backyard. So she's trying to look more into what happened then, and it goes into the complexities of rural life in America, and the relationships between the people in rural areas and the prejudices. I'm liking this. I have to say that reading in a book in such a long span of time is not my preferred way of reading, so maybe I should not participate in read-alongs that are a month long. because I find that although I'm enjoying it when I read it, it's hard for me to go back to it after 2 or 3 days without reading it. And I think I am ahead of the schedule, and I'm still feeling like this is dragging so much, and yeah, I just want to partially sit one day and finish it. I don't think I'm going to do that because there are other books that I need to prioritize, but yeah, I think I'm not very good at reading one book for a month. So, but other than that, I'm liking it. So yeah, that's that. And then the other two books that I'm reading are The Great Offshore Grounds by Vanessa Veselka, and I'm reading this with Rainier from Rainier Books. We are reading this because it was longlisted for the National Book Award in the US. And I'm really liking this one. So this one starts with two sisters going to the wedding of their father, who both of them don't really like, and we very quickly find out that they are sisters because they are from the same father, but they have two different mothers, but they don't know which is the mother of who. So apparently when they were born, one of the mothers wanted to have children and the other one didn't, so they decided that the one that didn't will give the child to the one that did, and they were both going to be registered as daughters of this woman, and that way the one that didn't want to be a mother could go away and live her life. And so we are sort of following them, trying to find the truth about this, but also it's kind of an epic journey, and I'm really liking it so far. So yeah, I'm looking forward to talk to Rainier about this. We are planning to film a video together about it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And the last one I'm reading is Apeirogon by Colum McCann, and this is again part of the long list for the Booker. Yeah, so this one is a difficult one for me to talk about because I feel like I'm the minority. I am in the minority here. So this book is a very poetical book about the conflicts in Palestine and Israel, and it's basically takes the real stories of two men that both lost their daughters in the conflict, one from the Israeli side and one from the Palestinian side, and we kind of follow them. And I'm finding those sections very powerful, but then this book has so many tangents that I'm not enjoying. So yeah, that is a little bit of a struggle for me. But I'm planning to finish that this weekend and post a review on Sunday. So look forward to that. You'll get more info about that then. And yeah, those are the books I'm reading. It's been a bit difficult for me because I normally don't read so many books at the same time, and they are all fairly big. So it's not like I can sit one afternoon and finish one of them, so that I feel relieved. But yeah, they are all for different projects, and I think I will finish them relatively soon, some of them at least. For the rest of the books that I want to read, so I still have these three, which are for the Berlin Literary Awards. They are announcing the winner on the 22nd of October, so I'm hoping to read those three before then. That's why I'm saying that maybe I will not finish The Little Friend anytime soon, because I'm prioritizing these three. None of them are very big, so I'm hoping that I can still make it, but yeah, we will see. So those are All the Lives We Never Lived by Anuradha Roy, which is about an artist in India that is trying to find freedom and what the concept of freedom means, I think. Then we have Drive Your Plough Over the Bones of the Dead by Olga Tozarzuk. And yeah, this one is, I think, about a woman that is very much herself regardless of what people think in rural areas in Poland. And then Histoire de la Violence by Eduard Louis, which is about an immigrant from Algeria to France and what that was like. And then the other one that I'm going to try to read, because also it's for the Barterhor book club, and we are normally discussing the books on the 22nd of October, so that means that I should be reading this, and again it's a chunky one, it's 500 pages, and that's Possession by S A Byatt. I don't know if I will be able to make it, because I think this one has less priority than these three, but still I will try to get a chunk into it, and maybe if I finish it a couple of days later, then I will just join the Voxer discussion of it later. But yeah, I'm not sure what this is about, but this is for the Barterhor book club, so that's what I can say about that. So yeah, those were all the books that I'm reading or planning to read in the near future. Let me know if you have read any of them, if you are participating in any of the projects I am participating to. I'm served for a while. And yeah, let me know if what you're reading, what you're enjoying, what you're doing, if you're also going into lockdown like we are, which can be a good thing or a bad thing, I guess. I take it as a good thing, because at least the government is doing something about the situation, finally. And yeah, that is all for me. Until next video, bye!